Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel. There's nothing holding Ripple back from having an IPO at this point, frankly. I mean, look, and the reason I say it so confidently is because of the change in administration. We just had the election here in the United States. It's very clear the market has spoken. This is the environment that we want. Now, last year, if you're paying attention, you may recall that Ripple went on what's known as a roadshow, in which they were trying to entice investors, so on and so forth, and kind of feel out interest for a potential IPO. I was a little surprised they did this because it was in the first half of last year, and maybe around April, if memory serves. So we didn't even have the conclusion of the SEC v. Ripple case, so that surprised me. But they really were going forward with that and optimistic that they could at least have that pulled off the IPO by later at the end of maybe 2023. Now, of course, once they get out there into the real world, they found what I frankly would have guessed, which is that there's not a lot of interest for a Ripple IPO at that point specifically because of the lawsuit. The lawsuit's not over. And so even when XRP ended up getting legal clarity in July of last year, that didn't help Ripple specifically. So great for us XRP holders. At this point, is there anything actually holding Ripple back? Well, I mean, technically, you got to wait for the administration to actually change, which doesn't happen until January, and then may take some time to get some things in place. But I don't see why not at that point. I mean, do you think that the actual appeal at this point is going to proceed? Because this is part of my calculus too. Now, if the appeal does proceed, then I take back some of what I just said. But my expectation is that because of the administrative change, and you're going to have somebody else in charge at the SEC, that's a virtual certainty. It's about 99.999% chance that's going to happen. Well, then what's holding them back at that point? And so there was this headline: Ripple should start preparing for an IPO as soon as possible, SBI CEO says. So I'm going to share that with you, and then some other legal updates, and also, I'll save this for the last part of the video. But there's some people, this is hilarious if this actually happens. There's some people that want to troll the hell out of Gensler, and like on his last day walking out of the office, they want to have carolers like singing something to him. I quickly read through the article. I'll try and find the relevant part. I don't want to waste too much time on that, but it just kind of made me laugh. So I was like, okay, I'm going to throw that in at the end of the video just because it made me laugh. And I think that you'll appreciate it because as far as I'm concerned, Kim Jong-Gensler, supreme leader and dictator at the SEC, he is just a despicable creature. In fact, I've got something for you on that too. Look at this headline from Cointelegraph. No apology can undo the damage Gary Gensler has caused Tyler Winklevoss. And so you'll see. But oh, and also comments from John Deaton and Stuart Alderati, who is Ripple's chief legal officer. But before sharing additional thoughts here, I do want to be clear, I do not have a financial background of any kind. I am not offering financial advice, and you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast who enjoys making YouTube videos about crypto-related topics, but just as a hobby and just for fun. All right, so into this first piece. Ripple should start preparing for IPO as soon as possible, SBI CEO says. In a social media post on the X social media network, SBI Holdings CEO Yoshitaka Kitao stated that Ripple, one of the leading enterprise blockchain companies, should start preparing for an initial public offering as soon as possible after the SEC matter gets resolved. Okay, now that's interesting because of the very close relationship that the firm has had with Ripple dating back since before I even knew that XRP existed. I mean, it goes back, I can't remember exactly when it started, but the better part of a decade, honestly, at this point. And so to hear something like that, it's like probably sage wisdom, frankly. And with what we just happened with the election, yeah, it's probably starting to make sense. Now, you may be wondering, as an XRP holder, what would this mean for you? Some will tell you that it means XRP number go up. I do not believe that. Would love to be wrong, okay? But let me just tell you, as somebody who has literally been here for 7 years, and I do mean that literally, and I mentioned this in a previous video, but on November 17th, 2017, that is the day that I first bought XRP. And it was a week before that I jumped into crypto. So I'd been researching XRP for a little bit less than a week at that point, and that's the one that caught my attention. After purchasing the only 3 coins that were available on Coinbase at the time, which were Bitcoin, ETH, and Litecoin. That's all that there was at that point. I know, olden times, right? Then I started researching a bunch of different coins in terms of market cap positions, just started from the top and went down to the dozens, and XRP caught my eye, and I was just like, wow, there's an actual use case. This is useful. This is rare in crypto today in 2017, right? All that to say, as far as, the long-term relationship here, and then just seeing how Ripple, like news from Ripple specifically, how the market reacts to that. It doesn't. It just doesn't. I've been watching every positive, and I mean this literally, every positive announcement from Ripple that's, even if it specifically pertains to XRP, I've never seen it move price. There might be one tiny exception. There's something at the edge of my brain here. I just can't think of what it was. But there is an argument to be made that maybe XRP, the timing actually did line up with something. I can't remember what it was. But it wasn't like some sort of big price movement anyway. So maybe there's like one exception, but it didn't really matter anyway. Outside of that, to be honest with you, what the SEC has done, like the SEC has had more control over the price of XRP than Ripple has, just by suing, right? So no, I have no confidence that this is gonna impact for us XRP holders, positively or negatively the price of XRP. But that's okay. I think that we're gonna have a crazy euphoric bull run even without that. And I'd be happy to be proven wrong, but it's just that I don't think it's probable based on the real world and history, having lived in this environment now literally for 7 years to the day as an XRP holder anyway, and researching for just slightly longer than that. So we'll see here, but I do think that, it's probably going to happen. And that's, the more success Ripple has, it's just one more thing that will be positive for the XRP ecosystem because they're the largest stakeholder in terms of quantity of XRP held. So that can't be bad. Now there's this post that I shared yesterday at the point when XRP hit $1.12. And that was exciting to see. Very fun day yesterday. Attorney Bill Morgan of the XRP community reposted my screen grab and my comment, which is right there, and wrote the following. One thing is now evident. Any theory that XRP will not rise with the market due to the SEC appeal in this cycle has been obliterated. Spot on. And I have been saying that for this whole year. Before we knew for sure if they were going to appeal, I was like, guys, it doesn't matter. And I had tons of confidence in that. In fact, once you saw that the appeal news come, the price of XRP dropped like, what was it, like 5% in 90 minutes? And then that was it. It dropped for 90 minutes, and then it just kind of moved sideways and up a little bit. So I was like, so that told me that speculators don't really care. There were a tiny percentage of speculators that panicked and they sold. Nobody else gave a damn. Nobody. Think about when the SEC sued Ripple in 2020. The price of XRP dropped, losing like 15 billion in market cap, and it dropped for a straight freaking week. That's how bad that was. This one lasted 90 minutes. That told me that market participants understood, and this is true, XRP has legal clarity, so it doesn't matter for us speculating, and that the SEC wasn't even challenging the legal status of XRP. That told me that almost everyone understood that, and so since I saw that, I was like, guys, this is what I was expecting, and because of this, XRP is absolutely going to participate in the bull run. And I think that Attorney Morgan is correct here. Any doubt anybody might have had was laid to rest yesterday. XRP is here to stay, and it's absolutely going to rocket this bull run. There's nothing that's going to hold it back, not even this appeal. And plus, on top of that, frankly, anybody that actually mistakenly thinks the appeal thinks the appeal matters, even a certain subset of them, presumably, would understand that it's probably not going to go through, not that there's going to be an administrative change and Biden's going to go bye-bye and you're going to have Trump come in. So who cares? You see what I'm saying here? There was also this. I wanted to highlight this because John Deaton ended up commenting on this topic. So Charles Gasparino, well-known figure over at Fox Business, right? He kind of trolls the community a little bit. But I want to say something here. So there's a post yesterday. Somebody wrote, "Where's Charles Gasparino and XRP about now? 100% return since November 5th. That was reposted by Charles Gasparino over at Fox Business. And he wrote, "When you go from 50 cents to a buck, that's 100% sad ha." So I guess he's not particularly impressed by that, and that's fine. He also kind of trolls the community a little bit, okay? That's a matter of fact, I think. Some people troll him, and he trolls some people in the community. But somebody responded with what I thought was a pretty reasonable and thoughtful, honest take here. Somebody named Real Joe Hartman one. And he said, "I think we owe Charlie and Eleanor," so he's referencing, of course, Eleanor Terrett, Fox Business Journalist. "I think we owe Charlie and Eleanor a debt of gratitude for giving Ripple/XRP a platform on Fox Business. John Deaton's been on multiple times discussing the court case and the depths of despair." I think it means despair. "They gave attention to it. I think he's trolling us a little bit, and he's a bit of a reaction seeker. Don't think he's a bad guy. He's helped push the Ripple case narrative along." Yeah, so I thought that was a pretty fair take there, frankly. And I know that not everybody's going to feel the same. That's fine. Everybody's entitled to their opinion. I am very thankful that Charles and Eleanor have done what they've done, because this gave the case of a much more public visibility than we ever could have hoped for. They were the only major news network that was covering it to this degree, like actually digging in and looking for stuff. So whatever you think, and I understand what happened, like Charles was pushing back and disagreed with the Torres on the final decision, even part of it having to do with XRP, and I respectfully just disagree with him on a lot of the stuff that he said there. But it doesn't matter. Like, in the end, I still appreciate the fact that he did that. That materially mattered. We could at least agree on that if we're being intellectually honest. Even if you're not a fan of Charles, we could agree on that. Like, that's a good thing, right? I certainly think so. So I do appreciate that. And so Charles reposted that, and he said, I am the reason why the whole XRP Ripple issue was covered so vigorously by Eleanor Terrett. I gave her a mandate to break stories on this. I edited all of them, and she delivered great content. Yeah, and I'm glad he did. I don't know about you. I'm genuinely thankful. Now, that was reposted by attorney John Deaton, and he said the following. In the fall of 2021, I made a post tagging Charles Gasparino, asking if he would cover the Ripple XRP case. He didn't know me from Adam, but responded he would look into it and report accordingly, if he believed it newsworthy. See below. Agree with him or not, he and Eleanor Terrett were the first to recognize the jurisdictional land grab regarding crypto by the SEC. And so that is true. This all functionally matters. And it's cool to see how all of this played out. So again, all of your entitled to your opinion. I'm not going to tell you wrong, whatever you believe. But I would hope, for just letting cool heads prevail here, at least we should be thankful that this happened the way it did, even if you don't like a lot of the stuff that Charles opined after that. Shifting gears slightly, this still pertains to the impact of the SEC v. Ripple case. I got to set the table here just a little bit. This is a story from 3 days ago, which I have mentioned on the channel already, but I'll just be brief here. Headline from Decrypt. SEC Gary Gensler sued by 18 states over Biden's crypto crackdown. And so really, for the purposes of this video, all you need to know, because I don't want to go into great detail here just for the purposes of time, but 18 states sued Gary Gensler and the SEC, and it's basically for tremendous government overreach. You guys know what that means, I think. Now, this was referenced by attorney Bill Morgan here of the XRP community, and here's what he said. Very interesting that the plaintiff 18 states in their claim against the SEC at paragraph 119 claim XRP as a type of currency in digital format that acts as a medium of exchange and is used as a form of payment. That has, with respect to differing opinions, always been a better description of the nature of XRP and XRP transactions than describing the token itself as a security and transactions using XRP as investment contracts. So folks, in this lawsuit, Ripple and XRP are both cited. It's on your screen right there. I just thought that was cool as hell. And so because it's because of everything that happened. So there's Charles Gasparino, most impactful, of course, what attorney Deaton did in representing 75,000 XRP holders. That absolutely changed the outcome of the Ripple case. It did. And we know that. That's not conjecture. I'm not wondering if that's the case. Judge Torres, in her decision, specifically cited the sworn affidavits that were submitted thanks to the 75,000 XRP holders represented by John Deaton. That's amazing. That's absolutely astonishing. We revealed to Judge Torres the tremendous and disgusting overreach. She got it. And then we got what we wanted as a result here. Now, there's this post from Ripple Chief Legal Officer Stuart Alderati. Check this out. Gary Gensler, attempting to justify his 4-year-long political crusade to destroy crypto by claiming he just continued what Jay Clayton started, is like burning down the house and saying, Jay lit the match, I just added the gasoline. Okay, that's good. So you can see, let me share this screen grab, full screen here. You can see what he's referencing. This is the screen grab that Stuart Alderati shared here. And so he's like, yeah, well, Jay Clayton did this thing when he was SEC chair. I just kept doing it. And so Stuart's like, yeah, okay, well, that's just like saying, well, Jay started it. He lit the match. I just added gasoline. And now the building burns down. That's exactly right. It's despicable and disgusting. Which leads us to this. No apology can undo the damage Gary Gensler has caused. So says Tyler Winklevoss. I don't need to read the article. This is what's being referenced here. Check this out. From Tyler Winklevoss, sharing this with his 1 million followers on X. And I love to see this. It's been seen 718,000 times, by the way, with 12,000 hearts. And so he wrote, let's all be clear on one thing. Gary Gensler, and he tagged him, by the way, on X. He tagged Gary Gensler, said he'd see this. Gary Gensler is evil. Yes! You'll love to see it. He should never again have a position of influence, power, or consequence. Any company, university, or organization that hires or works with him post-SEC is betraying the crypto industry and should be boycotted aggressively. This is the only way to prevent this kind of misuse of government power from happening again in the future. Gensler's behavior can't be explained away as a good faith mistake. It was entirely thought out, intentional, and purposeful to fulfill his personal political agenda at any cost. Even if this meant nuking an industry, tens of thousands of jobs, people's livelihoods, billions of invested capital, and more. Ironically, his sociopathic ambition ended up torching his own political party. Folks, that is true. It did come back to bite them. And he was following the lead from the top of this Biden administration, which has just been a disgrace towards everything crypto. The day they're gone, I'll just say, bye, Felicia. That's the end of that. I'm very much looking forward to that. And it is true. So not only is everything that he just said there true, but specifically us here in the XRP community, he was trying to ruin our opportunity for life-changing wealth. Now, thankfully, he has failed, but he was trying to do that. And there's no forgiveness there. Tyler then wraps up by saying, no amount of apology can undo the damage he has done to our industry and our country. This type of person has no place in any institution, big or small. Americans have had enough of their tax dollars going towards a government that is supposed to protect them, but instead is wielded against them by politicians looking to advance their careers. It's time for this pathology to be stopped once and for all. Onward. You know, that one gets a little golf clap. Good job, Tyler Winklevoss. Good job there. And then we have this. And, so this final thing in the video, I actually came across this because of John Deaton's Crypto Law Organization yesterday. They shared a link to this story. So I don't want to spend a bunch of time. I just kind of more so just wanted to mention this. It's from a website I'm not familiar with, Federal Newswire. Cy Mecca on SEC Chief Gary Gensler, quote, we're trying to invite him out the door and maybe get a singer and carolers or a chorus of people to join us. Okay, I got a kick out of this. I do find him as like so despicable. I truly do. I don't know if I can quickly find the spot where they were talking about the specifics, but basically this firm, they put forward this campaign, just highlighting the degree to which he's just a disgusting, despicable creature. And they did somewhere in here, yeah, maybe this might be the part that I was thinking of. Let me read this. So we're trying to invite him out the door and maybe get a singer and carolers or a chorus of people to join us, and that there's certainly no lack of sentiment towards wanting him to leave. Oh, this is absolutely fantastic. And then there's another quote. His job is supposed to be protecting investors, but all he does is go after investors. And this is from Cy Mecca. He goes after the companies, he bankrupts them, and he drags them into court. He wastes millions and millions of taxpayer dollars while devaluing valuable companies. This is a time when blockchain technology, much like the internet in the 90s, is revolutionary. We should be facilitating it, but instead Gensler's doing the opposite, end quote. Okay, so I don't know if they're really actually for real trying to do that. It sounds hilarious to me. And if that happens, I will report the results, let's say, in a future video, but I find that to be hilarious. They actually, can you imagine you're Gary Gensler, and then you have to walk out the door in disgrace, and then a new administration's coming in, which you helped to put there by your despicable behavior, and then people are mocking you with the freaking, like, choir or something. I want to know what they say. Are they going to make up their own song? What are the lyrics going to be? Like, I need to know. That would be absolutely hilarious. I'll be here for it if it happens, but okay. I'll go ahead and wrap up here. I'm not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say, right? That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo.